Hi everyone. So I am here with this week's makeup date. I know it's not that long ago, but I actually have a lot to update on. A lot happened, which is always really fun at the end of the month. I feel like when at the end it just accumulates and it's just like, wow, like I have so much stuff to share, which is awesome. So today what we'll be doing is I'll be sharing some of my recent purchases. So I did have some, and then also some recent empties. And then I'll also be tacking on my Project Lip Lab or my beauty bank update to this one, just because I'm going to try to keep it brief and I'll see how this format goes. I also have a few things that are happening in my collection just because of those empties, so I'll kind of explain that along the way. I hope I can like string it along together and make sense. So we'll see how that goes. So let's jump into my purchases first, because actually it's probably the most boring part, surprisingly. Um, I don't actually have the actual bottle to show you guys, but I did get a hydrating scalp serum. I've been dealing with stuff with my scalp for years, and I've been trying to like purify it and cleanse it a lot, but I do find that it's still itchy. So I'm wondering if some maybe hydrating will help, but it was on sale, and so I picked it up, and we'll see how it goes. And then I am sort of finishing up my body lotions, and so I was like, should I buy a body oil to mix in with a moisturizer? Because that's what I typically do. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll just buy something that has both. And so this one was on sale at my local like store, and so I just picked it up and we'll try it out. Actually, I think it smells okay. Yeah, it's like really subtle, at least for now. But we'll see how I end up using that up. All right, for the empties, which is super exciting. On the note of that body lotion stuff, I did go ahead and decant this whole thing into the little jar that I typically put my lotions in. I like using it out of there, at least I think I like using it out of there rather than these. Hopefully you guys know by now I hate pump anythings really. Like I like I like it when it starts, but I think it just like, I don't know. It's never been my thing. So when I decanted this, so this bottle is gonna be going out of my collection. I actually like forgot that I had it, which is why I went ahead and picked this one up kind of prematurely. So I will have to make sure I use that one up first and like, the remnants of that before I break into this. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I still have a bit of my body oil left, so I will have to use that first, and then yeah, kind of see how it goes. This one is kind of a lighter lotion. I do usually like a heavier lotion on my body, but I'm hoping that because it's summer, I don't really need as heavy of a lotion and can use this up, over the next month and a half or so. And yeah, kind of go from there. All right, kind of a bore. Let's see. I'm trying to see what's kind of a boring empty in here. So I did end up actually decanting the rest of this into my setting spray bottle. So this one's, I think I was about halfway done, and I was like, I think it can fit. So it's just like put it in as exactly the right amount to fill to the top. So I'm actually going through this like pretty fast. I don't know if it's the mister. I don't know if it's summer. I don't know if I'm using too much powder. Thus I have to like put more setting spray on. But yeah, I think for the price, I think this is worth it. For the just how quickly I use it up, I think it makes a lot more like economical sense. And also the mist. It's because I put the mister on this. It also helps with that too. So I don't know, it's working for me. So this is also a decanting empty, and will be going on my collection. Let's see what else here. Ooh, this is pretty exciting. I did finish up my serum. This is a L'Oreal Revitalift one. I picked it up on sale for like $2. I had like stacked coupons and everything. Honestly, I would say it was pretty good. I tried to use that as organically as I could, like 3 to 5 drops. And so I think I started this like March maybe, or like mid-March. So it did bring me about 4 to 5 months, which I think is actually pretty good for a serum. So yeah, I would say it didn't make my skin worse, didn't make my skin amazing, but it was a good $2 serum. I will that I can say for sure. Another very not inexpensive, but originally kind of expensive, and I got stacked coupons for, was this sunscreen. I just showed this, I think, in my last one. And this is a chemical sunscreen from L'Oreal, a really nice scent, like a really light citrusy scent, which like I feel like I've encountered scents that are very familiar to me, and I can't put my finger on where I smelled it before. But I really like the scent of this. But I don't use it on my face like I probably should. It is a chemical sunscreen, so I prefer chemical sunscreens on my body and mineral sunscreens on my face. So this one I went ahead and used as much as I could, and then I was like, why is it already empty? Like I can't pump out anymore. And then I was like, this cap is on here like really securely. It's not like a spin-off cap. But I was like, I don't like, is it an airless pump? I mean, it seems like a glass bottle, and like, you know, I just don't know what was in it. So I ended up did popping it off. Can I do it on camera? It's like, oh, there, got it. But it's a pump again. And I did dig out the rest of it. I promise I'm using it up. Let me snap this back on. Um, and like, this is how much, I haven't even touched it since I dug it out. Like, this is how much product was still left in it. Isn't that crazy? This is at least, this jar is almost a half an ounce. So this is at least a third of an ounce in here. And I'm just like, pumps, pumps. Ah. You will continually see me struggle with this. But yes, this packaging is gone, which this was nice packaging, but like, I don't know. I didn't get to use it on my face, so I can't tell you like, was it crazy good on my face? It's still nice, I can say that. But yeah, for $4, 1 ounce chemical sunscreen, like I'm moving my way through it. I did forget to bring up, I grabbed like 4 bottles of like generic sunscreen from CVS. It's a clear zinc line, which is like part chemical, part mineral. So I'm excited to start using that. I actually have grand plans for that. As you guys know, my love for pump tubes, or what is it called? Like soft tubes with a pump on it. So I will share more of that in a video. I kind of gathered some supplies and stuff like that. So I'll share more of that in that video. I should have brought those sunscreens, at least to tell you that came into my collection this, or at least my family's collection, because I am using it across the whole family. So I actually left that downstairs because I was like, oh, this is the family's stash of sunscreen. Let me leave it here, and I forgot to bring it up. But just side note, anticipate that video. I am excited to share a little bit about my plans there. More sunscreen. I finished up the Innisfree sunscreen here. This was just 10 milliliters, I think. And it was chemicals, so I probably won't purchase this one. They did come out with a mineral one, so I might end up picking that one up at some point. I finished up a toner that I put into an airless pump bottle. Mainly use it as a makeup remover. And I did overuse it for my last use because that's just how I roll. All right, the last things here are really exciting. First, I finished up this Dior lip gloss. It is the tiny version, and I ended up having to add a little bit of lipstick to this to make like a darker lipstick to make the color work for me. And it was just because I think of how tiny it was. It was so difficult to get product out by the end. I was trying to melt it. I was trying to do things. I think I melted it to a point where the packaging is actually bulging a little bit. Oops. But I don't think it changed the consistency. But as you can see, there's a ton of windowing here, and I think I got it as empty as I could. I might try to clean it out and just like have it around for display purposes, but I don't think I'll be using any more lip gloss out of that. Okay, 2 awesome empties, is 2 powder empties. These are, I did use up my DIY like loose powder Franken powder thing. So I upped it again using these 2, which is why these are empty. I like filled it to the brim because I was like, I'm almost close to like scraping all of it out. So I'm gonna just do it, and it's gonna be bulky, but whatever. So this is my Sephora Micro Smooth powder, and that is done. This is in shade Sand. Almost the right shade for me, but I just found it kicked up a lot. It was just really messy to use, so I actually like it better in the loose powder, like broken up as a loose powder. So this packaging is done. I also did use up the rest of my, I think this is, 5 grams. 5 grams of this Laura Mercier. Help. This Laura Mercier loose powder as well, which is like, you know, holy grail for so many people, and I want to try it out. I do like this a lot. I think it's a beautiful powder, but I do have like a large container of Ben Nye powder waiting for me. So I think for me personally, I don't see a huge difference, but I could be wrong. One day I will kick myself for saying that. But yes, this little 5-gram sample is done in my my Franken loose powder. And then these are things that I'm actually decluttering, which I'm really proud of doing. And probably I'm sad I won't be using this up for myself, but I think it's time. I've been looking at my blush collection and my highlighter collection for a while. I don't use either one, honestly, that much. And the ones that I do have are going to take forever to use up. So I was like, I think I need to let go of a few and give it to somebody in my community. As much as like these are kind of high-end products and I could potentially sell them, but I was like, I think I just need to cut into my losses and just move them out from my collection, let somebody else enjoy them. So the first one here is my MAC Soft and Gentle. I picked this up on sale at Poshmark, I think, and it's just not my shade. It's like way too bright. I mean, the lights aren't, I don't have a ton of lights, but I think the lights show enough, like how different, of stark of a difference it is. So it's quite a bright highlighter for me versus, well, I think for someone who might be a little bit fairer, it might work for them a little bit better. Another one here is the Laura Geller one in Blush and Brighten Mimosa. It's a beautiful marbled one. As you can see, I do have some pan here. I think there was already a hole there when I got it. Again, I got it used. And then it was also, I also use it in a Franken blush. A beautiful one, and honestly, I would love to see myself use it up, but I just have other shades that aren't as finicky to work with. It can be a little bit too glittery for me in times, so I could honestly only see myself using this up as a Franken blush. Packaging is beautiful as well, this limited edition packaging, but I'll allow someone else in my community, I think, to use it up. Also, it's broken. Let me see if I can show you guys. It only happens like in, yeah. So it's broken here. I might try to fix it before, you know, I let go of it, but honestly, it's made in Italy. It's cool here. It has a little imprint. Let me see if I can show you guys the back without ruining it. This is the terracotta plate, and then you can see there has like an inscription. It says made in Italy. So that's really cool. But yeah, so I will pop that back in. And then the last thing I'm going to let go of is my Benefit Duo. As you guys know, I used up the Hula Light that was in here. It was nearly my shade, but and the blush in here is beautiful. But honestly, I have similar blushes to this, and I don't see myself really reaching for it. It's in the blush Willa, or in the shade Willa, and it smells amazing, by the way. But I will let go of that as well and let somebody else enjoy that. So those are my empties. Oh, and I also have a sponge empty. This was like a quarter of the Sephora body sponge. As you guys know, I've been gravitating towards like darker color black sponges. It's a little bit harder to tell when it's dirty and where it's dirty, but I just do my best to like really clean them well. And honestly, I think I had about 2 or 3 weeks with this little quarter alone, and I really enjoyed it. So now I moved on to the next quarter. We'll use that up before I break into some of my other sponges that I recently got. So those are all of my ins and outs. A few things that I've been really enjoying lately and pleasantly surprised by. I am really leaning more towards warm toned lips lately. And I was like, I don't have that much actually in my collection that's warm toned. I've moved a lot of it out. I only have a few options here. But one that I was like, I thought was too like nude on me, at least it was in the spring when I first got it, is this Revi Beauty by Allie Glines. It's her Dahlia shade. And this one I was like, oh, this is like too nudie for me. But I think I realized I was just like too pale for it almost, so like too cool toned. So now it's actually a beautiful color on me. It's from her Effortless Lips line, and I really like this. Unfortunately, this tube only has 1.7 grams in it, while a traditional lipstick has about 3 grams, I think. Let me double check here. Of course, it doesn't say on this one, but I think other like lipsticks I have are like about 3 grams, even 3.5 grams. So I think I got this for about $22 with shipping, which I think is a lot for 1.7 grams. Of course, there's other lipsticks out there that are even less and like make no sense, like the Hourglass ones or like the Tarte ones, and I'm like, why is there only 2 grams for like, you know, 20 something bucks of like lip gloss? Anyways, I have my gripe with the lip options out there, but I can see myself reusing the tube for sure. So I think I'm going to enjoy this as much as I can this summer, especially while I think that this color works for me really well right now. And it is like a touch light, but I think with the shades I'm using in my lip palette, it makes sense. And I can make it work. So let's go ahead and let me see if there's anything else I want to say before I dive into my beauty bank. I don't think so. I think in terms of like things that are rolling in when I'm using, I got this serum. It's a Innisfree one that I got from a friend. It has really cute packaging, but it's this the Retinol Cica Repair ampoule, which I basically use as a serum. I don't fully know the difference between all the different types, like the essence and the ampoules and the serums and the treatments and all that stuff. But for now, since I used up my I used up this serum, I brought that one in. And then for sunscreen, I am Since I used this one up, I now brought in my last, I can't believe it, my last Sephora Sun Safety Kit sunscreen, which is the St. Jane one. This one's beautiful as well. But this one reminds me a lot of one that I used from Elizabeth Mott. I don't want to dig that one up. Maybe when this is empty, I'll dig that one up. But like the scent is really similar. Like it just seems really familiar to me. So I don't know if I'll ever buy this one full size, but this has been a treat to use right now. And that's why I kind of saved it till the end. In terms of this sunscreen, I finished this up, but like I showed you there, I still have a bit left in the packaging, and I have kind of some new sunscreens that just came in. So I've been working through my sunscreens this summer. Like I'm very proud of myself for that, because I feel like sunscreens often just like sit around. So I'm glad that's I'm working through that. Oh, I did have a goal. If you watch my deck of panning, I believe, I have a foundation prompt, and I said that I would use my Shiseido Synchro Skin foundation up to a certain goal, but I'm already mixing it with other stuff, so I ended up actually putting this into my NYX Bear With Me concealer tube. As you guys know, last time I realized the pop top's off, and you can actually like refill it basically. So that's what I'm doing with this, and trying to use this up as fast as I can for the sake of deck of panning. So I've been enjoying having kind of a smaller foundation tube around, rather than like dumping and mixing and all that stuff every single day. So that's been nice. So I think that's about it. Ooh, I also did, I'll update this as well in my Pen Those palettes, like just in a little bit, but I did have a Franken, which I featured on my Instagram. I Franken this one because it was getting to the edges, and I put a ton of random stuff in there and ended up creating that. So that one's very nicely made, and I made that in the last week as well. All right, probably have other stuff to update on, but I'll go ahead and dive into my beauty bank and we'll do that. So I'll just be talking. So sorry, no visuals. I'm not that type of editor, and maybe one day, but for now, that's why I hope to keep it kind of short, so I'm not just like talking at you a ton. I do have my computer here with my spreadsheet out, and we'll kind of talk through a few things here. This was a really, really good month for me. I really set my eyes on like really good goals and really aim for it. One of my first goals was to, of course, to purchase less, which I did. I think I purchased about, I don't think I have my final count. I think it's somewhere between like 12 to 15 items. That's including kind of like repurchases or like kind of pretty like kind of like necessities, I guess, in terms of like SPF and all that stuff. So so yes, I feel like I purchased less in terms of like excess items for sure. I also had the goal of having less things that less things that I purchased or like went against my beauty bank than last month. Last month I think I had a little over $600 worth of things that like was kind of excess or was a gift or like things that counted against my beauty bank. And this month I have about $530 against my beauty bank, so it's less. Not that I had none, but it was less. And I'll tell you kind of briefly what was the main culprits. I mean, I do have my recurring like self-care fees, which is well over 100 at this point. Some of the things that came in to my collection was like a large lip gloss, tons of loose powder. I did get a new smartwatch, so I counted that against me. I think I like did half, so like kind of as a gift to myself for myself, and also split it with my husband, kind of thing. And then also, let me see, like, and like some accessories for that and stuff. So that definitely added up. Let me see what else I counted against myself. Some of the sunscreen stuff, and I did buy a new waterproof mascara. Oh, I bought a new book, which is, I'll probably show you in the future, but I never buy myself books. I always go from the library, but this was a very specific book that I wanted, so I went ahead and got it. I think I actually got myself 2 other books too, so those are more like devotional type stuff, so I went ahead and counted that against myself. I did purchase a new swimsuit because I've been swimming lately, and I was like, I don't have a backup swimsuit, I should have one, so that went against me. But I did purchase it through Amazon, like Prime Day, and like had those sales, so it was a little bit cheaper than usual, but still against my beauty bank. And then, oh, I made one more Glambot order, which I'm kind of embarrassed by, but I've been eyeing a few things on there, so I counted that against me for this month, even though I'm not sure if it'll come in until next month, but that's counted in there right now. Um, and the other big thing that I actually didn't put a lot of in my beauty bank, but I'll just mention for the sake of documenting for myself mainly, is that this month is also the month where I realize I have very long-term chronic Achilles tendonitis that I need to recover from. It's been going on for years and I didn't even recognize it. So I finally am like starting PT and like all that stuff for it. So that I definitely spent a good amount of money on like my personal finances, financial money on it. Didn't count it necessarily against this bank just because I feel like that's more health medical related. But you know, that's always kind of a sticky point in terms of beauty bank stuff is like self-care versus medical versus whatever. I think I just need to kind of be careful with that. Um, and yeah, I do also anticipate in terms of things going out, I might not be bringing in as much like I don't know. I think a lot of things I used to charge against my FSA, and I always use that kind of as an excuse to purchase stuff and be like, oh, it's like FSA eligible, so I can grab that, I can grab this, I can grab that. And I know a lot of that didn't end up on beauty bank, but I think for the sake of like discussing spending, I kind of want to mention that. And some of that included like SPF and like face SPF and like, you know, even some things that are at Sephora that are eligible, like acne treatments and whatnot. I was like, oh, if it's FSA eligible, I'll just grab it. And but this year I actually just learned that my FSA card doesn't cover those things. I have like a limited one. If you're ever familiar with American healthcare, it's terrible and has lots of weird loopholes, but my current FSA is limited, and so I can't spend towards those things. So I think I'll be a lot more careful with what I'm spending on, and not just like because it's FSA eligible, I can just pick it up. So I'm anticipating this year will be a little bit less of that, and I'm kind of looking forward to it actually. I feel like if I'm not spending on makeup, I'm always making a game of buying, purchasing other things, which doesn't heal the addiction, of course, right? But but yeah, I think that's just something I'm mindful of and recognize like this might be actually a turning point for some of the things that I tended to spend on. All right. Now for the amount that I got in is actually I am in net positive finally. Oh my goodness. I brought in $614 worth. Of course it's not real dollars, but in terms of like my healthcare, my not healthcare, my health habits, my you know, exercising, the things I was emptying out, you know, things I was frankening, you know, all this stuff contributed towards the $614 into my bank. As of today, I'm filming a little early. It's 26th. I am ending the month with $311. So I'm finally over the 300 mark, and hope to stay here and even be more in the coming months. For next month, I have a few goals. One is, and actually this month's earnings, since it's not quite at the end of the month, I'm hoping by the end of the month, my like actual earnings, like in versus out, I'll be in the net positive around 100. And I think that'll be honestly my goal moving forward, that I'm basically earning $100 towards my bank every single month, because September, like this is going to end at the end of September, and I might restart it again, which is because this project has been super fun for me. But end of September is where when my trip is happening, and I want to have enough bank to like pay for all the random stuff I'll be doing, like going to Lip Lab, bringing in more makeup because I'll probably visit makeup stores with my friend, you know, all the gas and money and like you know, food and all that stuff that I'll probably end up doing. But that will all be coming out of this bank essentially. I know it's not real money, but it at least gives me some sort of spending budget for the trip, right? All that to say, yeah, it'd be nice to be in like very cushioned for this trip. I already bought my plane tickets and that is already counted against this trip. So that I don't have to worry about that as much. But in terms of all the other spending on the trip, like that will be coming out of this bank. So yeah, I'm hoping, so if I'm able to be at around 400 by the end of August, 500, I'll be around 500 by the end of September. Like I'm pretty much cutting close, but that's my goal, is to have 100 or more in terms of my earnings. Another thing that I'm also doing for myself is where if I spend on 3 or less products, this is in counting excessive products, um, any even repurchases. If I purchase 3 or less, then I will actually also give myself a $25 credit for making like not purchasing that much. I think sometimes I just look at my bank and I'm just like, oh, I have excess money, let me just spend it and let me just use it up. But that is not really the purpose of this bank, and so I need to be kind of careful, and I'm hoping that this incentive will help me to purchase less. Of course, whatever I do purchase will still count against my beauty bank, so it'll be those items counting against, and then potentially if it's 3 or less, then I'll have, you know, that $25 like credit, if you will. And then, but then if I go past that, then of course it'll just be like the consequence of me, one, not getting the credit, and also that it will, those items will continue to count against my beauty bank. Does that make sense? Probably not. But again, this project is really for me and for the crazy rules I put on it. Let me see if there's any other random things I added on in terms of habits. I guess just like my PT exercises, my physical therapy stuff. Sometimes I slack, and so I'm just trying to incentivize myself to do them every day. So, all right, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. It's been a long one. Thanks so much for sticking around. I hope that it was exciting to hear about some of my recent outs and things that are moving around in my collection, as well as my progress in my beauty bank and kind of my just my thoughts around that. So, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.